I don't even know what to think. I was told this was a bad movie, and Rotten Tomatoes told me it wasn't. I guess this channel is going through a crisis. So let's see what's not that bad about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, along with my brother-in-law, Nathan. Welcome to It's Not That Bad, and I don't know anymore. This is supposed to be a channel that reviews bad movies, but apparently this movie I'm reviewing today wasn't as hated as someone told me it was. Typically, when I make these reviews, they're pretty superficial and very top level, which this is, but we'll dive a little deeper because I got my brother-in-law here today with me for Thanksgiving. Also, I'm not a movie buff, but I feel like he is more than I am.
No, you're definitely more than me.
I just watch a lot of movies, a lot of bad movies. We know in this movie, Harrison Ford he's up there in age, but the de-aging tech that they used in this, it wasn't as bad as people kind of made it out to be. Like, if we were to bring out pictures right now, I feel like it would look good.
It would.
You know?
It would. Yeah. No, definitely not as bad as earlier attempts by other movies, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think about Star Wars like a couple years. No, I mean, The Mandalorian with Luke.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. It didn't. Sometimes it doesn't look right. This time it looked okay. It looked okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was perfect, but I don't think it's ever going to be perfect. You know?
You can't replicate a younger self.
You can't.
In
can't do it.
CGI. Set design, I thought it was really cool. When I was watching it, I mean, there were different scenes in Nazi Germany, in Italy, when they were on the coast, Roman times, Greek times. Oh gosh,
it was Greek. It was not. It wasn't Roman. It was Greek. Yeah.
Greek times. And the set design for all of it looked really cool. I did feel like I was in Nazi Germany. Not that I would know how it would feel like. I'm 26, but it felt historically accurate. Especially in those train scenes, they had like really nice set design and cool effects. I know that Disney in the past has used like LED backgrounds to make it feel like it was that type of set. But it felt like this movie was really grounded in realism and real sets and real locations.
No, the sets definitely looked really, really real. Yeah. No, definitely.
I remember the ship scene too, where like it did look like they kind of filmed that outside on a ship.
On an actual,
in the sea. Let's also talk about the streets, okay? They had a lot of people on those sets. As it looked like it, at least. And it felt like I was really back in that time in, where was it? New York? 1960s, back
like that,
then,
right?
historically. Mm-hmm. My real question is, did Harrison Ford actually ride a horse?
It's tough, right? Because I think he can definitely ride a horse. You know.
He has.
He says that he does all kinds of things in his old age. It definitely looks in the movie like he rides it. I mean, they come pretty close up, and it looks just like him.
And it looks like a real horse.
So
in the movie, they're talking about these different fissures in time, and every time that came up, I was thinking to myself, Indiana Jones has literally done everything now. Everything, meaning like, he's been through a lot of experiences throughout these 5 movies. We're talking magical artifacts. We're talking
evil spirits.
Evil spirits.
Like almost horror-esque, yeah?
Yeah. The biblical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Holy Grail and the 4th movie. Aliens.
Yep.
Aliens. He is, I guess he hasn't dealt with space yet, but like aliens.
He did deal with aliens.
Which
so
are
kind
from
of space.
Space? He has practically explored everything. And now he's gone back in time, literally, which I think, and we'll get to that point later on, is very important for his character development.
Mm-hmm.
He's a man that's just experienced everything now.
Yeah, and I think you get that feeling, right, at that end moment where he's like, I'm experiencing history, something I've studied my whole life, you know, something I've wanted to be a part of. and he gets kind of teary-eyed and everything, and it's like, but I think it's also a moment for, for everybody who's a fan of Harrison Ford as well,
Mm-hmm.
where it was just a moment for him to be like, I've done this, and I've done it again, and this will probably be my last go, obviously. I mean, who knows, but probably,
Yeah, no.
right?
Yeah.
And it was just very touching to just be like, yeah, no, I've done everything I wanted to do,
Yeah.
and I've reached the end of
Yeah.
what I need to do.
I can only imagine what it was like for people that actually watched like the original Indiana Jones and kind of has been on this journey with Harrison Ford now.
Mm-hmm.
Through this last one. The first one came out 80s,
Mm-hmm. Definitely,
right?
yeah.
So that's
Had to have been 80s.
80, 90,000. That's like 50 years, 60-ish years. My math is off. 40 years? Nathan, tell me, you're the physics
years.
teacher.
It's 40 years.
It's 40 years.
40 something years.
Man, and I'm Asian too. I'm a disgrace to my people.
Definitely 40s. Nowhere near 60s. It's all right.
Speaking of which, going through this journey with Indy, we do experience the classic Indiana Jones tropes in this. We got Nazis, a cool chase, assistants. What else can we think of?
Fight scenes in crowded places.
Fight scenes, yes.
Through the people, through the crowds.
Guns. Snakes.
Snakes.
And
whips. All the,
all the Indiana Jones things. Meaning to say it's very consistent. It has felt familiar. It is very much an Indiana Jones film, and nothing else. Like, you can't mistake it for anything else. Even with the music, you can feel the same thing. Obviously, the same theme has been used and different variations of it, but it still hits right. It's still hitting the same place. It's by the same person. They've kept it very consistent, and the nostalgia and familiarity are just there. It's like we're back. You're back home. It's very familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Also, really, really cool to see the underwater filming and the underwater scenes here. You have a mix of like real underwater scenes and also CGI, right? And in the past, what they've filmed scenes just above water, not really underwater.
Yeah, all the Indiana Jones stuff. He was on the water in boats in several instances here and there, but never really under the water.
Mm-hmm.
Not really.
Yeah.
Like he would swim through the water or something, but it wouldn't show him swimming as much.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that's been big recently. Is they've made some major breakthroughs, and we can film all kinds of things underwater. We can make it look exactly like they're underwater, exactly like they're they're struggling with whatever under the water. So yeah, and I think they did a great job.
Yeah. And I really hope it was Harrison Ford that was underwater a little bit. Yeah, I hope he's doing well in his age. Because I feel like that was a lot of, if he did his own stunts, that was a lot of stunts to do.
Right?
There were trains, underwater scenes, the fight scenes, him trying to do, him riding a horse, like we mentioned earlier. Then it's a lot. Do we think this was a bad movie? No. And the general audience thinks the same. I think it's good. And I may be breaking channel rules here. So I should really just look at Rotten Tomatoes first before I say a movie is objectively bad. But this movie really wasn't that bad. I'm truthful about that. I know I'm very sarcastic about that sometimes, but this is real optimism and positivity. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was not that bad.
Not that bad.
Right. I really do think he did his own stunts. Hopefully he did, right?
I mean, I think he does have a stuntman. I really do. He's not Tom Cruise, but
he's not.
But I do think he does a lot. He's a very fit man. You hear all the time that he does all kinds of fit things. Fit things.
Fit things.
He stays fit. I guess is what I'm trying to say. He stays. Yeah.